All right, guys, today we're diving into something that separates the 1% from everybody else. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even skill. It's what you do when everything feels like it's falling apart. You know those moments when you don't want to make another call, when rejection feels like it's crushing your soul, when your goals seem impossible, and that voice in your head is just screaming to quit. Well, I'm about to share with you the WIN formula, the exact framework that elite performers use to push through when it sucks. This is battle tested by champions who've made millions in sales, built empires, and dominated industries. Okay, so let me ask you something. Why do most people quit right before their breakthrough? It's basic human psychology that we're wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. When things get tough, our brains scream danger, scream get away from this, scream get out. But here's what separates champions from everybody else and how they can stay in the game and push through. Champions have learned to reframe pain. They don't see obstacles as roadblocks. Hear me out. They see them as the price of admission to greatness. Think about Michael Phelps. His coach Bob Bowman noticed something incredible. While other swimmers performed poorly when they felt bad, like when they just didn't want to show up for the day, when they weren't feeling good. You know, Phelps performed regardless of how he felt. That led him to being one of the most decorated Olympic champions in the world. That difference is what separates amateurs from pros. Amateurs let their emotions drive their actions. Pros let their identity drive their actions, and that identity is built on one thing, this foundation that will carry you through those hard moments and make it look spectacular the way that you perform when everything is going wrong. And let me tell you something, most days it's gonna be wrong. Most days it's not gonna feel good. Most days you're not gonna wanna do it. But if you can rely on a formula like this, you will push through, you will score that damn ball, you will look legendary, and you will make it happen. And when you do that, you're gonna get the life that you want. So the WIN formula, W-I-N, stands for what's important now. Let me explain. This isn't just a cute acronym, okay? Write it down. What's important now? This is a mental reset button that champions use when everything goes wrong. When you're getting rejected and when you're feeling like you're falling apart, when you want to quit, you ask yourself, what's important now? Can I outlast the temporary feelings, the temporary thoughts, the temporary things that are trying to distract you? Let me just tell you, the devil is going to come for your mind. He's going to try to talk you out of this big life that you can have. Don't let the devil, don't let your temporary emotions rob you of your future self. Most people never get to meet their future self because they don't have a perspective that they can see through these things that are hard. Man, showing up to this podcast today, I had an AC unit break. I have a pregnant wife. She's been in the house for 2 days as it's not been going right. You know, she's frustrated. She's got things going on, real things. I've got a business. I've got different things burning down in different departments. I've got this person calling me. I have my nephews flying in right now. I can't wait to spend time with them, but I've got 400 other things. I got 300 clients downstairs right now. I've got all kinds of different things. But I still have to show up and do this. Why? Because I've committed to it. I've committed to the result of the 2, 3, 4 year version of me and what that version looked like. What's important now? This. What's important now? Where I'm at, what I'm handling. But I can't let those thoughts creep in and those things that are going on in my life, those temporary emotions, stop me from who I'm trying to become. And the difference between great people and good people, the great people are going to let everything stop them, while the amazing, legendary people are going to let nothing stop them, including themselves. They're not going to let themselves stop them because they know what's on the other side of that adversity is a person that you've never met yet. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It is that person that didn't stop doing that one last rep, that one last set, that one more phone call. And that person shows up one day and people think they're special. They think that they're legendary, when in reality, they were just good at managing their emotions. So let me break this down for you so you can compartmentalize this framework in your mind and use it on these tough days, okay? There's gonna be more tough days than good days. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But your perspective on a tough day shouldn't be dog shit. Your perspective on a hard day should be like, good, this is a chance for me to build my adversity bank account, my challenge bank account. This is a chance for me to build this reputation with myself that's unshakable, and you can count on you. The greatest basketball players in the world, when they go out there in the fourth quarter and there's 30 seconds in the game, 2 seconds in the game, and they're going to take that last shot, they're begging for the shot. Why? Because they can trust themselves, because they've shown up for themselves. So if you haven't shown up for yourself, if you haven't been doing these things, reset. Who cares? Stop having the identity of a loser and start having the identity of a winner. And the identity of a winner is just built in telling yourself you're going to do something and doing it, okay? Don't care what your past was. I was a shitty person years back, created a new identity. I don't even remember that person, okay? So W, that starts with, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to accomplish? What's your mission? What's your purpose? When you're clear on your what, the how becomes secondary. Let me explain. I know who I'm trying to become. I know the legend that I'm trying to become. I believe that every person in a family should have a legend that shows up in their bloodline. I know that's me. I've seen him. I felt him. I knew what that was going to look like. The house I live in today was my dream house. The car I drive today was my dream car. The baby that I have today, the dad that I am, the husband that I am. I imagined this stuff when I was 25 years old. But let me tell you, there's a lot of people who imagined it when they were 25 years old. But most people didn't get it because they weren't clear on who they were trying to become. I wrote it down every day. On my phone, I walked around with characteristics of the person that I was trying to become, values, standards, okay? I used to put the house that I was gonna live in on my phone. So every time I'd go to check it, I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna get that house. I'm gonna get that. Man, my wife, I dreamed exactly who she was gonna be, the standards that she would have, what she was gonna look like. She's smoking hot. She's amazing, okay? I knew like today I am so confident in what I say because what I say I fought for years and it wasn't hard. And I know that if you can do that, that's the separator in life. But first, you got to get clear on the W. You got to get clear on the what, okay? Because I don't have to be told to get out of bed and work out at 5 in the morning. I don't have to be told to accomplish these tasks. That's the how. That's totally separate, secondary. I know I must do that. I don't call in sick. You know why? Because the what is so vicious. It's so clear. I know exactly who that is. And so I know that those behaviors must align with that future version of myself. So the W, get clear on the what. You know how many people I walk up to and I'm like, hey, what do you want to do in life? And they're like, well, I don't know. Dude, listen, man, when we created this company, 9-figure company, world impacting company, I knew that I wanted to run this company one day. I knew that I wanted to have a big leadership position. I knew what our building was going to look like before there was anybody in this business. We were in a Great Clips, an old Great Clips that they went out of business and we moved in there and we envisioned what it was going to look like. The people that we would have in these seminars, exactly how it would look like. Andy and Jackie, when I first met them, they wrote their house on a napkin, okay? Their house on a napkin, they drew exactly what the furniture was going to look like, exactly how high the desks was, exactly what it was going to look like, how the clients would come down into this house that is built for entertaining. And they're like, how's it going to feel to have your clients here do this? And, you know, for people to meet us and see that we're real people and that we really care and we're going to do all these special things. And this is how it's going to look like. That vision makes the how become secondary because you know it's worth it. You got to believe in that vision. You got to know it can happen for you. I can't convince you that it can happen for you. You must convince you that it happens for you. And if you can see the vision, then every day you're not going to break. The only reason people are breaking every day is because they lose track of the vision. Maybe it's a self-limiting belief that you don't think that it can happen for you. Get rid of that shit. It can happen for you. Man, I've been addicted to many different things. I've been lost. I should have been killed many times. I've been stabbed. I've been hurt. I've been wounded. I've been betrayed. I've been down on myself. I betrayed my own self. Man, I looked at myself sometimes and I was like, how did I become this person? Okay? That was years ago. I made a decision, a serious decision to become the winning version of myself, to live life by design, to believe, number one, that it could happen for me. How's a basketball player supposed to go out and perform, and they say, hey, who wants to shoot the ball in the fourth? And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can make the shot. That's never going to work. You got to be the person that's like, give me the ball. I know I can do this. I know what's inside me. If you're watching my channel, you know who you can become. You're not watching this for motivation. You're watching this because there's a calling in your heart. You know that you're supposed to do something big. Maybe you're playing small right now. Snap out of it. The world needs that version of you that goes through that adversity. And if you don't give them that version of you, you're ruining millions of lives potentially and your families. So get it together. Decide on who you're going to be. Decide on the what, and the how becomes easy. The I, important. It means priority. What moves the needle in your life? What gets you results? What matters most in this moment? I see so many people that major in the minors. They're just doing a bunch of minor things every day that don't move their life forward. They're so distracted. The number one thing that you can have in your life is focus. Focusing on the things that actually move your life to where you want to go. But most people, they don't know what's important. They don't know what's going to move their life forward. Get clear on this right now. Hey, I need to make this many phone calls to equal this kind of revenue, because if I can do this kind of revenue over the next 6 months, I could do this. That achieves my dreams. That happens to this. Listen, I need to show up at these networking events because this happens, and I need to be, clear when I show up to those. I'm not drinking. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, and I'm trying to plant these seeds. These are the kinds of clients I'm looking for. Hey, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. I'm going to have a calendar in my bathroom so that way I feel physically confident, mentally confident, emotionally confident. I'm going to get clear on, hey, spirituality. Spirituality for me means everything. So I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to read the Bible for 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes, work out for 45 minutes. I know that I'm going to make this many calls. I'm not going to get distracted. People can't talk to me at certain times of the day. I can't talk to me at certain times of the day. I've got rules. I've got priorities. You come try to talk to me during the day at 10:30, good luck. Good luck, man. I'm not talking to you. I've got shit going on. I've got things that I need to stay focused on. And if I get distracted, I'm paying the price to my future self. I'm basically saying no to the future version of me. I'm like, no, I'm cool. I don't want that version of me. No, listen, important means priority. What's important today? Visit with yourself when you start the day like, hey, I gotta make 3 sales. I gotta do this and I gotta do that. That would be a winning day. I gotta make 50 calls. By the way, you can't always just judge your life by results. Judge it by your behaviors. I don't know if I'm gonna make 3 sales today. I don't know if I'm gonna make 10 sales today, but I know the behavior of focus leads me to those sales. I know that the behaviors of winning, which means I'm going to make my calls like this, with this attitude, I'm going to do this, those equal me doing what I need to do in my life. I know that me being close to God makes my heart feel good. I feel in gratitude. My attitude is unshakable, and that bleeds into my life, which makes me a more confident person. So that has to be a priority for me. I know when I work out, I feel better about me. I know when I look in the mirror and I'm working out and I'm feeling good, I'm a more confident salesperson, I'm more charismatic, and I feel good. So if that's important to you, get clear on what's important to you and what moves the needle in your life. And now. N equals now. So write down now. Now means immediate action. It doesn't mean tomorrow action. It doesn't mean next month action. It doesn't mean when you feel better action. It doesn't mean when you have the right mindset action. It means jump. It means move. It means do the things today that you know you need to be doing to move that needle. What is it? Decide on it. Take action. Listen, everybody's sitting around trying to, if you're at a gun range, they're trying to aim. Oh, yep, I'm going to hit this target. I missed it. Hold on. By the time you've already shot 2 bullets, I'm like, pow, 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 and I've hit the target 15 times. Have I missed 15 times? Sure. Okay, but I've hit the target. Start shooting the freaking gun. Start getting out there and taking the action that you know you need to take. Most people just aren't taking enough action. The breakthroughs that you're looking for are in the work that you don't want to do. It's in the action that you know you could take. If you just took more action, it would happen for you. Listen, when I was in car sales, I would watch these guys sit out front of the gate and they would just wait for customers to pull in all day long. Naturally, that's going to happen a little bit. But then there would be me. I'd be in the service drive, scared, unconfident, but I'm like, all these people are pulling in here. I'm going to go talk to them. And I talk to 80 people a day, 100 people a day, just talking to them. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? While the other guy is sitting over there talking to 2 customers a day, 3 customers a day, I'm talking to 100, okay? Now, those people aren't necessarily buyers, but that's what sales is. Do you know the type of person I became after a month of sitting in the service drive versus a guy that's been here for 6 months, a year, and he's talking to 50 people a month, and I'm talking to 700, 800, 1,000, 1,500 people? That type of action made me a better salesperson. Do you know how many sales calls I would make a day? 50 to 100, not that many. But the average salesperson in my store would make 8 to 10 to 12, and not even good calls. I'm like, dude, listen, every single day, I'm gonna set 2 appointments, no matter what. No matter what. Not that hard. Most salespeople will never do that. I'm gonna set 2 appointments. I'm gonna make 50 to 100 calls, depending on how it goes, but no matter what my standard is, no matter what, this is my standard. And I would do that. And I would have all these results that people were like, whoa, oh my God, how did you do that? And then I would tell him, and I would tell Skippy that was sitting next to me, he's making $50,000 a year. I'm making 10 times what he makes in a year. And I would tell him, I'd say, hey, we're gonna go sit in service. We're gonna go talk to 60, 70 people, shake hands. If it's slow, then we'll go hit the neighborhood. We'll go hit the mall. We'll go talk to people out there. We're not standing in front of the gate. I'd say, hey man, we're gonna make 50 phone calls. We're gonna make them standing up out front, print a list out and be walking around making calls, keep our energy up. Don't ever make them in your office. I look over and Skippy would be over here and he's making the calls in his office, sitting down, not coachable. He'd go to the service drive for 30 minutes and be like, nobody wants to buy. We'd walk through the mall. I'd be talking to people. Oh my God, hey, how you doing? What's up? Hey, he wouldn't want to talk to anybody. That kind of inaction, he has no idea that he's paying a bill for his current life. And that bill of regret is going to come. And it's going to come in the form of being bitter, angry, mad, unfulfilled. Your life sucks. And you're like, I've had sales careers. And then you talk shit on sales. You talk shit on sales jobs, the industries. When in reality, it was your perspective. It was what you saw. It was your work ethic. It was what your mind thought. 2 people, same job. One takes more action, gets more results. One has a better perspective, gets better results. One has a better mindset, gets better results. It's all a choice. So you have to decide on that action piece. You have to decide to take that action. And if you do, there's no way you can't win, okay? So we kind of talked about it, but here's how it works in life. You're gonna walk into your store today, you're gonna walk into your business day, and you're gonna get kicked in the nads, and it's gonna hurt, and you're gonna get rejected 5 times, maybe 10 times in a row, and your confidence is gonna be a little shot. The amateur, they're gonna respond, this sucks, I'm done for the day, they go home, or they just don't even perform the task at a high level and they hide. They cower, they put their head down, and they just make it through the day. And by the way, they don't even think it hurts anybody. But you know who it hurts? It hurts their future self. And they got no idea that they're literally just ruining their future self until that bill comes one day. And that bill comes when you're 30 years old, 40 years old, and you got nothing to show for it. I'm just being honest with you. The champion responds like this. What's important now? My family depends on me. My legacy depends on me. My goals require me to make the 50 calls today. I've made 20, but that's not 50. I must continue to hit this number until I get this number. I will not retreat on my goal unless I die. I'm gonna keep going. I feel like shit, but it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna keep going for today. I'm not gonna worry about tomorrow. I'm gonna show up today and I'm gonna keep going. I got my ass kicked on these 10 calls. That doesn't mean that the 11th isn't gonna score. That doesn't mean on the 12th, I'm gonna hit the game-winning shot. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. This is the hardest thing that you're ever gonna have to do. It's not gonna be necessarily your skill. What it's gonna be is, can you stay in the game and outlast the temporary feeling? Can you reset your mind when everything feels like it's going wrong? Can you find the gratitude? Couple tips real quick. If I've been getting my ass kicked for the day, you know what I do? Take a walk. Take a simple walk. Put on some headphones. Listen to some motivation. Shit. Look at my baby. Oh my God, look at you, man. Back to work. And then I just tell myself, hey man, listen, you got 20 more calls to go. That's all. Stop thinking about the result. Stop being so attached to the result that you can't have fun, that you can't make it through, that you are deciding to see all of the ass kickings instead of what's on the other side of this next call. On the other side of this next call is a win. You're gonna have to be the greatest coach to yourself and learn how to stay on track when everything is trying to pull you away from staying on track. And that is the number one skill. I don't give a shit what anybody tells you. Learning how to stay on track and stay focused and keep showing up even when the days are hard, long, and you feel like you're not winning, those are the people that outlast the temporary, and more than just get the results, they become somebody new on the other side, and that's what's special. See, so the difference that you're understanding is that champions ignore the pain. They redirect their focus to what matters most. And when you consistently do that, you just find a way to make it through. And I'm not saying it's going to be every single day, to be honest. I mean, some days you're going to be embarrassed by your work ethic. Some days you're going to be embarrassed by, you should have done that extra 20 call and you're like, shit, dude. But that's okay. Tomorrow, it's a new day. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think the win formula is just about pushing through. It's not. It's about an identity transformation. And that's what you have to take away from this. Let me explain. Most people operate backwards. They wait to feel motivated before they take the action. Champions operate from the identity. They ask, who do I need to be right now to do this? Are you someone who quits when it gets hard, or are you someone who shows up regardless? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. There's two people in that question. I remember when I was building my sales career, I'm telling you, man, this is 15 years ago. There were days that I didn't want to make the calls. I knew I didn't. And the rejection just felt so damn personal, so damn hard. And there was days when I just questioned everything. Days when I wanted to get up, days when I wanted to burn my life down. But I had to make a choice. Was I going to be the guy who let the circumstances control him? And I looked around my store and I could see people that just lived lives that I didn't want to live, to be honest with you. And they always let circumstances control them. Drugs, addictions, not showing up, laziness, lack of action, all of these things. I was smart enough as an 18-year-old kid to be like, don't want to be like that guy. Hold on, that guy's got discipline. That guy's got habits. That guy shows up. Kind of want to be like that guy. So you can learn from people who are doing it right and people who are doing it wrong, okay? I learned from both, and at times I followed the losers and hated myself. And then there was times where I followed the winners and I'm like, this is the way I want to live, okay? So you got to decide which person inside of you is going to control you, the winner or the loser. That's when I learned the most powerful truth in personal development. You don't have to feel ready to be ready. You don't have to feel confident to act confident. You don't have to feel motivated to take motivated action. You just got to do it, okay? What's important is the now. What's important is the doing part. Underline doing in your notes. It's the doing that will help you become. You got to do more to become more. So when everything's going wrong, follow that framework. Now, let me give you one little bonus, some practical application that you can take into your life when it all starts to feel a little bit uneasy. So step one, I want you just to pause and breathe. Don't react, man. Don't respond. Take 3 deep breaths. Just create some space between you and that trigger that's holding you back. Just create some space, okay? Step 2, ask the question. What's important now? Okay, I remember this. What's important now? Okay, I feel good about this. Not what feels good, not what's easy, but what's important. What's important? Number 3, connect with your why. Why are you doing this? Who are you doing it for? What's at stake if you quit? Ask yourself, what's at stake? What am I doing this for? Where am I going? Where am I going? What's that vision I got to go to? The behavior secondary. We can do this. Take one action, just one. Make one call, write one email, do one rep. Momentum builds, and the more momentum you build right off of taking that one action, you'll watch it work out. And here's what happens when you master this. You start to become unshakable. You start to be able to count on you. You start to talk nice to yourself. And those external circumstances can't take control of your internal state. So your internal state becomes a strong core that you can count on, okay? You develop what's called emotional resilience. I got a lot of that shit. I'm proud of that, okay? Because I feel like I've just been wah. And I just keep going and I just connect to these things. I have these frameworks in my mind, so it's no big deal. When you develop this emotional resilience, you'll develop an ability to bounce back faster. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna start to attract opportunities because people see you as a reliable, consistent, unstoppable person. The job opportunities, one handshake could change your entire life. And if they see this in you, if your current company sees this in you, more importantly, if you see this in you, you start operating different than everybody else and they're saying it and you don't know why. You know why? It's because you've done these things, you've done this inner work and you can count on you. And And that's where real confidence comes from. That's where real mental power comes from. That's where you're going to become totally unshakable, and the world is going to start to recognize it because you recognize it, because you've earned it, and it's an earned feeling. But here's the key: you have to practice this when things are good, so it's automatic when things get bad. This isn't just something where you go to the gym once a month and call yourself a basketball player. This isn't a thing where you go to church once every year on Easter and Easter Sunday and you call yourself a Christian. This isn't it. This is a Monday through Sunday thing that you are working on, because it's one of the most important things to keep you unshakable here and driving to your goals. Now here's where this thing really gets powerful. Every time you use the win formula, you're not just solving problems. You're building character. And that character is going to last a lifetime. Each time you choose what's important over what's comfortable, you're depositing into your mental toughness account. You're beating that resistance that's in your brain. Each time you push through when you don't feel like it, you're proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who doesn't quit. This compounds over time. What used to break you now barely even registers in your freaking brain. What used to seem impossible now feels inevitable, like you're gonna get it no matter what. I've seen salespeople go from struggling to make quota to become top producers in a month. Why? Because they've decided, they've made the decision to go through the suck the sour to get to the sweet, damn it. Become a Navy SEAL, not a baby SEAL. I've seen entrepreneurs go from barely surviving to building multi-million-dollar companies that we coach. I've seen people transform their entire lives because of this formula and this decision. The difference, there's a difference. They mastered the win formula. So when things happen, it's like if I'm a basketball player, I go out there, I shoot jumpers, different ones. But then when somebody has their hand in my face, a little bit different. So the best practice with a hand in their face. The best got people, chasing them around the court, and they're shooting off-balance jumpers and these types of things, because that's how it happens. And then there's a guy who shoots free throws, and then he gets in a game and can't do shit. You know why? Because he wasn't really practicing how life really works, how the game really works. So for you got to be practicing this every day so that when something happens, you can do that reverse alley-oop on their ass and it looks crazy, all because you've practiced, you know the game, and then that way when it pops up, you know how to handle it when it does pop up. So here's my challenge for you guys. For the next 30 days, every time you want to quit, every time you feel like giving up, every time circumstances try to control you, ask yourself, what's important now? Then do it, even if you don't feel like it, especially if you don't feel like it. And here's what I want to give to you. I've got a 90-day calendar that if you want to go on a challenge with me, we have a community that you can join. You can do check-ins with everybody. You got a community that's growing, doing all the same thing, but it's a 90-day calendar that I'll give to you. Okay? At the end of this 90-day calendar, if you do all 90 days, eating clean, not giving up, it'll show you how to design your perfect day. If you go through that, and you crush that, I will have a personal gift for you, and you can text me for that gift. It's 480-780-2203. Again, it's 480-780-2203. You can text me ELLIOTT calendar, and I'll send it over to you, print it, put it on your wall, write the win formula, and check in every single day that you did the win formula. And if you do it for 90 days, you'll be an entirely different person. If you're in our community and you're checking in and you're following the check-ins, which mean you're saying, hey, I did do these things, or I didn't do these things, I got to restart, and you have community accountability, and let's say that you do this in 90 days. I promise you that there's a version on the other end of this 90 days that you've been waiting to meet your whole life. And I don't give a shit if you're a billionaire. I don't give a shit if you're 9 years old. There's a version of you over here that would change everything and how you operate. This championship mentality. So if you want it, it's free. It's 480-780-2203. I would love for you to join some of our calls where we're coaching on this stuff and really pouring into you. So just remember this. Champions aren't made when everything goes right. Champions are made when everything goes wrong and they keep going anyway. You have everything you need inside of you. The question is, will you use it? What's important now? You know the answer. Now let's go make it happen.